realize how much trouble my brother's in?
Hey, I'm posting this video on YouTube because I'm gonna do a book review. This is the book I literally could not put it down. I've had it for a year, and I just now started to read it. The book is entitled "The Raping of Ava DeSantis." The reason I got this book was, one, it was reviewed that it was more controversial than the 50 Shades of Grey series, and two, is a rape revenge plot to it. And what I like, a lot of people who do not know me, is I like rape revenge horror movies. I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left, Big Driver, you know, all those stories are good. Okay, back to The Raping of Ava DeSantis. The plot is this working class college freshman, which I do like that she's a college, in set well, you get two time periods. You get in 91 and 2006, which I'm kind of hoping if and when they make it into a movie, they'll make it now and then 15 years ago. Okay, so it's set in Georgia, which I like that as well. And back to Ava is a working college student, and she gets brutally raped by 3 wealthy fraternity brothers. When I mean rape, I mean rape. Like, it is so brutal. I mean, you don't really see it, but the aftermath of what she looks like from when they wake up from it, it is brutal. I mean, I kind of like that in the novel because it makes me use my imagination to be like, oh my god, these guys seriously messed her up. Now, the 3 fraternity brothers, Wesley Scarborough, Sebastian O'Connell, and David Riley. Wesley is the main guy, which I love Wesley, and the thing about him is I love to hate him because after he drew Ava in, I'm gonna go everywhere, and I'm sorry, YouTube people, whoever watches this or something, is that how Wesley knows Ava is they have a history class together, and he needs to pass this history class, and he thinks because Ava is doing so good in this class that she's cheating. You know, she's getting copies of tests from, seniors and stuff like that, graduates, undergrads, so he thinks she has the test, so he lures her thinking she has these tests and I can cheat and, graduate, and Sebastian's like, yeah, and, if you do get them, share them with me, because Sebastian's in the class. Well, they lure her to the house, and, they attack her. Wesley, which I love to hate him, he kind of feels remorseful about the rape and stuff like that, but then it's like, you kind of knew what was going to happen, but don't cry or something. But Wesley calls his mommy, which I kind of have kind of starting to picture an actress in my head when or if the movie gets made. She gives Ava a decision, $1 million. But it's not like, here's $1 million and stuff. This is stuff that goes with the $1 million. I'll give you $1 million. You get 500,000 now, 500,000 15 years later. I'm not going to tell you why the 15 years later. Read it and you'll find out. I'll pay any plastic surgeries that you have to have, because the boys literally messed her up. And to give you an easy description of what she looked like after the fact from the rape, both of her eyes were black and blue. They broke her nose. She is yellow, green, blue. She's all bruised up downstairs. They cut off her nipples. They cut off her nipples. They found them on the floor. I think Wesley said something like he found them on the floor. I mean, these guys brutalized her. And, I mean, I was just like so appalled. And, you know, that, like, the writer, you know, it was fast. And, you know, I like that you kind of went in and out of the rape. And I know I keep talking about the rape and stuff like that. Well, Wesley's mom, Miriam, says, I'll give you $1 million, but you have to leave town. You go back to New Jersey, which that's where she's from, a Jersey girl. I have a brother-in-law who's a Jersey guy, so. Do not contact us. Do not go to the police and stuff like that. If you see immediate results. Ava is kind of in shock because also these guys put Ava in a coma for 11 days. So this is 11 days after the rape. Ava's dad makes the decision. Okay, now this is the thing that gets me. This is why I started to hate Wesley. For 11 days, these boys are cleaning up the house. Anything that's got blood, anything that has, I guess, their semen, anything that has any trace of that they could get Ava's prints, Ava's DNA or something, they get rid of, and they clean up the house. You know, it doesn't look like when you walk in there like 3 college guys live in the house, which is actually Wesley's house. And, you know, they're all worried about, oh, we're going to go to jail, we're going to do this and that. And when Wesley's mom calls them and says she took the money, they celebrate. These three guys celebrate. They party to celebrate that, you know, and that made me so mad. Because, I mean, Wesley, you know, he went by himself and cried, you know, he felt, oh, Ava, you know, cried. But you partied and hugged each other. You know what? I mean, that blew my mind in the novel, that these guys partied. They partied because they weren't going to jail. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be a rape revenge if she didn't get her revenge. So she shows up 15 years later. And what makes me kind of heartbroken, and another thing that makes me mad at Wesley, is Wesley and Sebastian. They went on with their lives, and David did too. But they did something that they took from Ava and didn't think about it. They messed her down. Okay. While they were cleaning her up, I'm going to the scene. This is the part that really wrenched me the most, that really shocked me, and really, you know, I was like, why would you think of doing this? They are taking her to the hospital, and they want to clean her up so there's no DNA, no semen, no stuff on her. One of them, which is not Wesley's idea, I think it's David's, which I might have to check it. David gets the idea of taking a turkey baster to clean her out, to get their DNA out of her, so because they're going to do a rape kit on her. Not only do they take a turkey baster, they fill it up with bleach, Clorox bleach. They fill it up with Clorox bleach, stick it in her downstairs, as I'm going to say it, which I'm not going to say. And they burn her. They burn her so bad that she can't have children. And you know, they don't even think about that damage they did to her. But going back 15 years, Wesley and Sebastian have children. Well, Wesley has a wife that's pregnant, and, you know, Sebastian has his 3 children. They took that from Ava, and they know they did that, and they had children. I think Sebastian did have a daughter. I mean, what would Sebastian think if someone did that to his child? And it just blows my mind, you know, that they went on with their lives and happy dappy, and they got to finish college. Ava had to drop out. They don't even know, what happened to her in those 15 years. And Wesley, which this is what gets me mad. Another thing about Wesley that gets me mad about him. Okay, Ava was not supposed to go to the police. Ava was not supposed to. That was the deal. Ava. If Wesley felt so remorse, because he cried, why didn't none of them guys go to the cops about it? They might have not have got time. I mean, they might have did some time, but and I mean, Wesley, why didn't Wesley go to the cops? Why? And I mean, it just blows my mind. He did get upset about it, and and he was remorseful because they were thinking about killing her at one time. And why didn't Wesley go to the cops and he'd say, hey, I attacked this girl, the girl that was in the hospital, it was me and my buddies, and we did this and that and that, and I was high on drugs, because they were all, well, not Ava, I'm not going to say, Ava didn't do nothing but drink, so none of this was Ava's fault, because she wanted to get out. But the three guys, they were high on, they were drinking, they were smoking crack with PSP. Yeah, all three of those guys are, yeah. But Ava did nothing wrong. She did not ask for that. Okay, so 15 years later, Ava shows up to make the book of rape revenge. She gets her revenge. And what I like about Ava is she looks totally different. She's not that, well, Wesley calls her like a geek or a nerd or something like that. But she doesn't look like that. She's beautiful. She's like, I think Wesley calls her goddess when he sees her. And the thing about it is Wesley is the only one that recognizes her when he sees her. And Sebastian didn't know until she said her name, and I also like, because it's so funny, because I have a boss that has a Russian accent, and when she lures two of the guys, which is Sebastian and David, she talks in a Russian accent, and then when she says, well, the guy that said, what's your name? She goes, it's Ava. It's Ava. I'm Ava. And she drops the Russian accent like that. And one of my favorite scenes from the book, which has to do with Wesley, because like I said, I love to hate Wesley. I do. I could not stop. I mean, it was like 1 minute I was like, oh, I felt bad for Wesley, and then I was like, dude, you deserved it. Everything happened to you, you deserved it. Ava got you good. And what it was, oh no, I'm trying to, I hate when I lose my train of thought about this book, because it's just, I just got so much okay, Wesley is a publicist for a law firm. That's his job. And like I said, he has a wife, and she's almost 9 months pregnant. Okay, and this is the thing I thought was so great about Wesley, is one of the lawyers or somebody associated with the law firm is being accused of rape. And when somebody says rape to Wesley, Wesley like freaks out. They are like, because I guess because it's, it's cleaning out his closet or something like that, because it's telling him he's got something. And another scene that I liked of Wesley is he did an interview, and they were talking about rape and stuff like that, and he I guess in his mind he heard, "Are you a rapist?" And he freezes, and when he looks in the audience, Ava's there in the 1991 look, and she's like bloodied and battered, and she's smiling at him like I'm gonna get you, and then it's like she's not there. Ava sees him and harasses him at work, which, by the way, I love that. I love that Ava didn't just, I mean, I love Jennifer Hill on I Spit on Your Grave, don't get me wrong, but what Jennifer Hill did in I Spit on Your Grave it was child's play to what Ava did, because Ava went all out. Ava had a plan. She went for it. It wasn't like, you know, doing simple things, you know, trap him here, leave this there, or something like that, like a nice bit on your grave. But she had people help her. She, you know, she did the Russian accent. And the thing that I love that Ava did is, for Wesley, she went fatal attraction. She went to Wesley's house. She met his pregnant wife. And that's another thing that I like, that she did that. Because when she met Wesley's wife, Michelle, it was amazing. And what she was doing, you know, and the thing that, and that was another heartbreaking scene for me, is because they don't know the damage they did to her mentally and emotionally, and they could, and Wesley and Sebastian and David could care less about it. And that she went and saw these pictures of, you know, Wesley graduating, Wesley with Michelle, you know, Wesley and Sebastian hanging out, you know, all that, and, you know, and it makes her sick to the stomach that he knows what him and Sebastian and David, which they lost touch with David, they haven't seen David in years, that they know what they're capable of, and they still, you know, they still hung out, they still partied together, they still brought girls to the house. And then you find out Michelle lived in the house as well with Wesley, and to the point that she was like, we have to move because the house is haunted, because of the energy from that Michelle couldn't even handle the house. But, and then I also like how it's, to me, people say it's a horror novel, but to me it's more of a thriller, because, you know, all this bad stuff is happening around Wesley, and Wesley knows Ava, and, you know, and Wesley's trying to tell the cops, like, hey, she's doing it, and then they're like, well, why is she doing it? And he's like, well, one of my favorite things is he tells the cop 15 years ago, which he was saying, me and my buddies gangbanged the girl. She got pregnant. We paid to have an abortion, and it botched her up in her plumbing, and she can't have any kids. And the cop is like, well, who paid for it? And he's like, $1 million, you know, he's like, my mom did. Well, how'd your mom know the baby was yours? And he's like, what? And, you know, he's trying to save his own butt, and it's not working. You know, Wesley, you're not doing a good job. And the thing, I love the ending. The ending, I'm going to go to the ending now. That is shocking. I'm not going to give you most of the ending, but I'm going to tell you something. Everything Ava did to Wesley in the end, death would have been too easy for him. Like, killing Wesley would have been too easy. I mean, she destroyed him to the fullest. And the best thing, she took the one thing Wesley loved and kept it. And that is the best part of it. That he took the one thing that mattered the most to her, and so she took that from him. And to me, that is the best part of Ava. And I mean, I loved the character of Ava. I love, you know, I really liked Ava and Wesley's relationship in the book too, because you think they're gonna fall, you know. I mean, I knew it was gonna be rape revenge, you know, and I think I'm gonna start crying out, but I hope not. That they have this connection, and he's smitten with her at the beginning when they meet in college, and, you know, and he does tell her she's beautiful, and then later on when they get together, because there is a sex scene between Wesley and Ava, he tells Ava, you know, that he's in love with her, and he's always been in love with her. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, you know, when he was with Michelle, did he think of Ava? Or, you know, when he did stuff, you know, did Ava cross his mind? You know, Ava is that little ghost or haunting or whatever you want to call it in the back of his mind that he can't, you know, he can't let go of. Okay, so now that I've talked a lot about the book, you know, by the way, there's rape, there's BDSM, there is gory torture. There's torture in there because David gets it good. So, yeah, but there's like a lot of, and I mean, David's death scene is really graphic. Sebastian's is, but yeah, David's is really graphic. I mean, it was hardcore. So, okay. So, since I put this book right here, I've been tweeting the author about it being made into a movie, because the book came out in 2015. So the book's been out for 3 years. And there's really not a lot of people I've cast in my head, but the one actor I would love to see in this movie, and that is Armie Hammer to play Wesley Scarborough. And I think why I chose him, because I want an actor. I want Ava, Sebastian, David, and Wesley. Yeah, Ava, Wesley, yeah. I want all 4 of those characters to be like people that you could put them in college, and then you could do them now. Because I don't like doing different actors for that. You know, use the same actors. So Armie Hammer, because he was also voted Sexiest Risk Taker, so that's another thing that I think, and that he would do it, and and it's also been something I've never seen him do. I've seen action and families and kids and drama, but not a thriller or horror. So, and I mean, he's a good looking guy, and you know, and Wesley is a good looking guy, because Wesley, to me, Wesley is the guy, when you look at him, you're like, he's a rapist. You know, why would he rape somebody? You know, he's good looking, he's charming, he's got blonde hair, and you know, he's got this southern charm, and stuff. And when I was reading it, the 91 Wesley, I was picturing Armie Hammer and Gossip Girl. Like, that's how I pictured college Wesley. And then when I was reading him in the 15 years later, I was thinking Nocturnal Animal Armie Hammer. So it was like this and that. But yeah, I really want Armie Hammer to play Wesley Scarborough. For Ava, I really want like an unknown actress. I really don't want a big name celebrity. I think I said Megan Ora from Once Upon a Time as Ava, but like I said, I really don't want a big name person. But, and my favorite scene in the book, which I think is so sweet, and it's kind of romantic in a way to me, is there's a scene between Wesley and Ava and Julie. There's a threesome scene that Wesley asks Julie to take off Ava's clothes, and Ava starts taking her clothes off, and Wesley puts his hands to her breast, and he notices that she doesn't have any nipples, and he pulls her hair back, and it has like the scars from them, and he kisses them because he's kind of confused about it. But then he remembers that he did that, and you know, and he kisses them, like, and oh, that scene, because the threesome scene, which I loved it. It was because it started out with threesome, then it was sex, and then it became a love scene, and I really loved that progression. So this is my view, my thoughts. I don't even know, but like I said, this is a good book. Anybody who loves horror, anybody that likes anything that likes anybody controversial, read this book, The Raping of Ava DeSantis. So